Hey everybody, Johnny Flyer here, and we are now back to work on the American Flyer log loader accessory number 751, and we're going to pick it back up with a little bit of paint work and some restoration and a couple lessons learned. Hey, so I just wanted to catch one thing real quick before I finish. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. You might be able to see, there it is, that crinkling effect. And what I have found that's a symptom of is I didn't take down the paint far enough, like down to the bare metal. If there was some pre-existing oil, or if I use the paint remover, sort of like the naval jelly or something like that, and you get this kind of crinkle effect. You can kind of see it there. You can definitely see it there. And so I ran into this on the Mystic Station, and basically all you have to do is you got to sand it all the way back down. I say all you have to do, but take it all the way back down, sand it down, and we'll paint it again. But yeah, I like to put 3 or 4 layers of paint on these, and really the paint is a very nice shade of green. It actually is pretty darn close to Flyer green. But I'd like to take them down, give them a couple coats of paint, and interestingly enough, this doesn't show up until about the 3rd or 4th coat of paint. So unfortunate. Definitely some more work that I was hoping not to do, but I'll let this one coat dry because this one just went on. I'll sand it back down, and we'll get it down to bare metal. We'll start over again. But for those of you who see this, and get a little frustrated by it, don't be alarmed. It just means that you didn't clean it off good enough before you started painting, and you need to take it down and start over again. So a little bit of elbow grease and some sandpaper, and I've taken down the offending spots to about as far as I want to. And so we'll see if this works. I will fully admit that last time on the Mystic Station I did this once, sanded it down, and they came back. But I think, again, this is probably a consequence of this whole part of the station was very, very greasy. I did everything I could to clean this off. I did not want to remove the engine, however, because the wiring goes through, and I would have to resolder and go through that mess. And my reasoning is, hey, look, this part of the log loader is never going to be seen, and so it does not matter if it's painted or not, or what it looks like. So cleaned it up and began the painting process maybe a step or two before I should have, but hard lessons learned twice. But you see where I sanded it down. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to do a little bit of primer. I'm going to sand that primer just a bit, and we'll get to painting and see how it goes. So here's the end result after a little bit of repaint action and some other kind of foibles. But so I wanted to walk you through what I did, and it occurred to me that I don't talk a whole lot about what I use to fix these things, or at least recommendations for what I use to fix them. So what you see on the right are the 3 types of paints that I used based off of some color matching and guesstimation. And so I used the Krylon Matte Fire Red, which is over here, the Krylon Satin Pistachio, and this is the Gloss Yellow Sun. And you can see, so this is an original Flyer electromagnetic tower right here, and I used that for comparison. And for the most part, the colors jive. The pistachio is about a shade or 2 lighter, probably, than this. But frankly, I'm okay with that because it's going to be consistent, at least in the things on my table. And as far as restorations go, as long as it's consistent, at least in my book, that I think you're good to go. And it will darken in a little bit over time. So anyway, I think that's gone well. So a little bit of just recommendation for anybody else trying to restore one of these is in putting in the line here. What I used was sort of this craft hemp black cord, and I just split it out, and I used a smaller strand here. Is just, you got to kind of eyeball where the delivery crate or the delivery trolley here is going to hit, because the idea is when the log comes up, it gets trapped in between the teeth down here, which you can kind of see. And when it hits the top, this is a spring released kind of release, I guess, trigger, and it hits, and the bottom piece releases the log. But you got to make sure that you have sufficient amount of line to make sure that it goes back far enough so that your log will load, and you can't quite see there, but will load. So it has to be, for the most part, right underneath the teeth there. But we'll also come back and release up at the top. Let's see right there how it releases. So it took a little bit of trial and error, which is I think what it's going to take for anybody who tries this as well. But the end results are pretty good. So let's give it a whirl. Oops. There it goes. Third time's the charm. Okay. And by the way, I found that with the transformers, you really have to have a bigger one. As with many of these accoutrements, you got to push some serious voltage to make them work for you the right way. Anyway, so here's the deliver now. I'll just have my hand out there and make sure it doesn't fall. Down it goes. And so we'll just do another one real quick, because now there's the feed. And up it goes, and the next one falls into the hopper, and we get the second one. Now, something else I did find, that the little mechanism down here that does push the logs up and down, there's a solenoid here that draws this upwards. This will line up. There we go. It was in focus. You got to make sure that this sits free enough. So I had to do a little bit of creative bending here to make sure that this fit or worked and worked smoothly, because what I was getting was the teeth would kind of come down about like that, and the next log would not load. So a little bit of, again, trial and error, just trying to make this work right. But I'm really pleased with the look and how this all came out. And now I have a functional log loader that's going to go on the layout along with some other pieces here. So I've got probably 2-3 more restorations of accessories to go, and I'm going to finish off the track work. Special thanks to Dave from Dave's American Flyer Trains for some of his recommendations and mentorship, and getting the track to function correctly. And after some adjustments, the layout is working much better than it was. But anyway, that's restoration of the log loader accessory, and I'm very happy with this one. And yet again, this is all easily attainable, easy to get tools and things that you can pick up from the local store, which is what I did. It doesn't require any kind of special knowledge. Just takes a rudimentary understanding of these things, these electric engines, and really, since it's all basic erector engines from the same period, as long as you understand one, you pretty much understand them all. So, other than that, folks, that is a completed project. And thanks for watching, everybody.